Hi everyone, this is Suresh. In this set of video tutorials, I'm going to share my JavaScript knowledge with you all. Before we actually get into the JavaScript, I would like to share some information about these three components: Internet, browser, and JavaScript. I feel as a front-end engineer, I should be knowing some history behind all of these components. Um, so if you look at this picture, this is a typical client server model, and the client has a browser, and the browser has a JavaScript interpreter in it. So we are going to see only about these three components. So internet was born at CERN, which is called European Organization for Nuclear Research, and internet was invented by Sir Tim Berners-Lee with one more person called Robert Caio. Tim Berners-Lee is a director of W3C, and we should know that why internet was needed at CERN. So they used to lose information because they used to have information in a distributed system. So the information were scattered among those systems, and they used to lose constantly. Tim Berners-Lee saw this issue, and he made a proposal in 1989 for an information management system for sharing and updating information among everyone. In 1990, they came up with this idea, URI, which is Uniform Resource Identifier, that's going to identify the resource on the internet. And how the resource is getting transferred is by HTTP. Then they made this language called HTML, which is Hypertext Markup Language. That's how they used to create a document. Then in 1991, they came up with the browser called World Wide Web. They used to have a server as well. So I have found all this information from these links, but they are really interesting. You can go there and read about all the information. Especially, if you look at HTTP 0.9, you don't find post method in it. That's because that's how internet started, right? They wanted to retrieve information or documents from a remote location. Mm, then you can see, the very first web page, which was developed by Tim Berners-Lee, is still kept at this location. So you can just read, and they are really interesting. So we have seen how the internet was born. Let's get into web browser. So it happened at NCSA, which is National Center for Supercomputing Applications. That's in the USA, and he is the man who invented web browser. Uh, it's not actually the web browser. Not I know he's the one who invented web browser, but the web browser which he invented is a father of all the web browsers what we have been using right now. So his name is Mark Andreessen. You might be knowing about him. He is an entrepreneur and the founder of Netscape Communication Corporation and few other companies. He is a big investor. He invested in Facebook, Foursquare, GitHub, and a lot of other companies. Mm. And so the story starts from here, right? At NCSA, he was a software engineer working on this Mosaic web browser project. He contributed more to that Mosaic browser. Mm, and if you look at it, if you wonder that only one browser at the time, no, there were a few other browsers, but Mosaic was famous, and it's all because of it could display images in line with text, right? I think that is one of the differentiators that put Mosaic on top of the list. And all other browsers, I don't think they have been used anywhere. But the last one which I have listed here, called Lynx, which is invented in 1992, this I've been using it for a while. And you know why? Link's browser is a text-based browser. So whenever I wanted to see, how my web page is seen by the search engine bots, I use links. Let me show you an example. So this links comes with Mac, so you should be having it already. Let me browse this Yahoo homepage, and if you look at it, see, this is how the search engine is going to see the page. So I use links. um, so what happened? uh, Mark Andreessen came out of NCSA, and he started his own company called Netscape Communications Corporations in 1994. It used to be called as Mosaic Communications Corp. I'm not sure. Maybe there was some rights issue. That's why they changed the name to Netscape. Hmm. But the internal code name for this browser project was called Mozilla. That means, Mosaic killer. They wanted to kill Mosaic because already they were out of NCSA. So they built a browser uh, that they hoped that would kill Mosaic. Hmm. So the browser was called Netscape Navigator, and it took 75% of the market share in just 4 months. They went IPO in 1995. So the growth was huge. Now there was this company called Microsoft, and they were looking at this growth, and they wanted to build a browser. So they directly went to the company called Spyglass. Spyglass Inc. Is a company who licensed Mosaic browser. Now they took the help of, they went to Spyglass and got the source code, and they made Internet Explorer in August 1995. Now the browser was started. uh, yeah, there was one more company in Norway. They built Opera browser. uh, it was lying around, but it was not in the mm, top of the list, uh, but it existed at the time. So if you notice one more thing here, I have added something at the end. Uh, for Gecko, then here with Internet Explorer, I have added Spyglass, Trident, Edge HTML. So these all are called rendering engine. Each browser has a rendering engine, and if you look at the user agent, then that user agent would have this name in it. Uh, so Internet Explorer even used to have Spyglass in their user agent string. Then Trident. Now recently, Edge has HTML, and Opera has Presto. Uh, so Gecko was there. Uh, Netscape's rendering engine. Uh, in 1999, AOL acquired Netscape. So 1998 itself, they actually open sourced this Mozilla, and the Mozilla uh, uh, started in 1998 itself, though the Mozilla Corporation was established in 2005. Mm, the Firefox browser came out of Mozilla in 2002. uh, till 2003, Apple was using Netscape and IE. Then they wanted to have their own browser, right? So in 2003, Steve Jobs was bringing in this browser called Safari. And if you look at what is Safari, Safari was actually a fork of Conqueror browser, and Apple called it as WebKit. Okay. Then in 2008, one more big company called Google, they were looking at it, and they wanted to build their own browser. So they forked WebKit, and they built a browser out of it. In 2013, they forked WebKit and made a Blink, right? So ultimately, if you look at it, all these browsers are coming from one browser, that is Mosaic. Here you can see that I just took this screenshot today. This last 1 year's stat, you can see Chrome has taken the market with almost 50% of stake. Uh, this is this is for all the devices, not just desktop. It includes all the devices, and it's a worldwide market share. So here I have listed a few browsers user agents, and if you look at it closely, then you would notice this Mozilla string sticking to all the browsers user agents. And if you know the reason, then you will laugh at it. The reason is that Netscape had this frame component support, which Mosaic did not have. So the developers used to check the user agent. If it had Mozilla in it, then they used to serve frame documents to the client. Uh, then later in 1995, when IE came into the market, IE also had frame support, but the developers were still checking Mozilla, mm, and serving the frame documents. IE had nothing except adding Mozilla into the user agent. And the same thing is followed by other browsers as well. That's how it is sticking to the user agent forever. So, but these are the links from where they have collected all the information. You can just refer if you'd like to. So the next is JavaScript. Um, Netscape hired this man to put scheme language into the browser, and he is Brenton Eich. So what he did, he used he created a language called a live script in 10 days. Okay, and that was put in the browser, and it has the elements of Java, Scheme, and Self languages. Mm. In 1996, Netscape Navigators 2 had a JavaScript support, and JavaScript actually standardized by ECMA, European Computer Manufacturers Association, and that's how it is called ECMA script. Then there goes Microsoft. Microsoft created or developed JScript. I've heard that they have reverse engineered ECMAScript and created JScript. In 1996, Internet Explorer 3 was released with JScript. So ECMAScript version 1 was adopted in June 1997. Then 2 was in 1998. Then 3 happened in December 1993, ES3. So that was existing for nearly 10 years. And we did not see, as a developer, we did not see any other versions in between. Like now, between 1999 and 2009, we didn't see anything else. And version 4 was abandoned. I don't know the reason. Uh, and then ECMAScript 5 had a lot of improvements in the language, especially 5.1. Then in June 2015, we uh, this ES6 was adopted, standardized. Then from there, they thought that every year they would standardize the ECMA script. Now it is going to be yearly based. In June 2017, it's going to be ES8. Uh, so you can see one more thing here. I have listed the JavaScript engine as well as the rendering engine. Rendering engine is the one which would render HTML documents uh, Then when it finds JavaScript, then that JavaScript will be given to the JavaScript engine for the interpretation. Chrome has a V8 JavaScript engine, and Blink as the rendering engine. So you can see it over here. In Safari has a JavaScript core. The other thing is that in Mac you get JavaScript core. You get to access JavaScript core from the command line. Let me show you that. So this is the path where you would find this, and it's called JSC. Once you type JSC, you get into the um, REPL. Here you can see, let me type of array. You can see it's a function. So I'm inside a JavaScript core interpreter, and I can run any command. I can run any expression. I get the result back. And these are the documents that I have referred. You can check them out. Thank you so much. If you like my video, please subscribe. I'll see you again with my next video.